So, you are convinced that you will never be able to draw. No matter what you do, when you pick up that pencil, you feel like everything you make will never be good enough. No matter how bad it gets, never resort to using AI. Oh, shit. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some options on how to be creative, starting with the least amount of illustrative skill and progressively getting more advanced. So, you have the perfect idea on what you want your OC to look like, but once again, you realize that you cannot bring this idea into a physical form. There are so many apps, games, and websites even that have customizable characters with outfits, hairstyles, and even eye color. So if you feel like you can't draw out your OC, why not just craft them in a virtual world? I mean, there are literal websites designed for you to make your own OCs without having to draw. Like, that's their intended purpose. I personally don't have much experience with these types of sites, and I don't really know which ones are the safest, but I've heard that these ones that I'm using up on screen are okay to use, but you know.
If it's not, my apologies, chat. I literally did like 5 seconds of research.
But outside of these avatar makers, there are games like Gacha Life, Roblox, heck, even chat, my first OC I ever made was on Animal Jam. So really any game with outfit and character customization could be a great way for you to bring your characters to life. So get away from that pesky AI. Smack. I took the liberty of playing a little bit of Gacha Life for this video, a little bit of Animal Jam. Oh, look at me go! Meh. But the real interesting part was opening up Style Savvy again, bro. I haven't opened the save file in what feels like years, and visiting this really just felt so nostalgic. Just, oh my god. Style Savvy is one of the reasons why I love fashion so much. So if you haven't played it, good luck finding a copy of it, but like, you should play it. It's such a fun game. And I know that this is the portion of the video where I'm telling you that you don't have to draw to be creative, but come on, I had to draw something. This is an art channel. And if anything, it really does prove that this tip of using games and websites with character customization really does spark creativity, because like, look how much fun I'm having drawing these, dude. I know that my eyes are lifeless, but look past my eyes into my pea brain and see that I'm leaping for joy. But yes, games are a great way for you to visualize your OCs, and I really think you should give it a try. Speaking of OCs, have you been looking for a place to store all of your precious characters? Let's talk about Unveil. Unveil is a platform that lets you upload your characters to your profile, write detailed notes on their lore, and maybe some not so detailed ones too. Unveil is filled with so many opportunities to connect with other artists, as they have over 150,000 creatives such as yourself that could potentially share mutual interests. Despite not having many followers, I have received a lot of engagement on this platform, and I've only posted like 3 characters. Unveil is not only a place where you can store your characters, but you will never have to worry about art theft, as they are completely anti-AI and never NFT. If you're looking for some new characters to obsess over, you can go story hunting on Unveil's Explore tab. Look for cool writing, drawings, and even randomize to find some cool characters completely by chance. This video's entire premise is anti-AI, and I'm so glad to be working with a company that will always be on the side of artists. Unveil values the hard work and time that it takes to be creative, valuing the art and the people on their platform. So what are you waiting for? Join me and thousands of other artists on Unveil to organize your creative thoughts and stay safe while doing so. Click the link in the description to join Unveil today. Thank you so much to Unveil for sponsoring this video. Photobashing is something that is seen and talked a lot about in art classes as a way to kind of make the perfect reference for your projects, but it's also an excellent way for you to make art of your own. 2 different ways that I like to think about photobashing are paper dolls and collages. Let's start with paper dolls first. You are given a paper-based body with no outfit, sometimes not even any hair. You'll then use this doll as a blank mannequin to dress up in layers of different kinds of paper outfits, with each article of clothing being a separate piece, meaning that you could interchange each and every part of the outfit that you make and even swap them if you had multiple doll bases. I'm taking this digitally today just because I don't want to lose my mind cutting stuff out, but making these digital paper dolls is not only such a great way to visualize your characters, but it's also a great way to visualize personal outfits. You could even take a picture of yourself and edit different clothing over you, to see if it suits you. Paper dolls are awesome, but if fashion really isn't your thing and you just want a more general creativity, I personally recommend trying out some collages. Taking pieces of photos and mashing them into one conglomeration is just such a great way to present your ideas without needing the technical skills of drawing. You can even take your own photos to add a more personal touch to what you're making. And honestly, I advise taking this traditional. I personally find it super cathartic to cut things out and glue them down and... Guys, I promise I'm not mentally 8 years old. For this collage, I didn't want to go into this with too much thought because, hey, sometimes the best things that we make are when we don't think at all.
Now, is this the best thing I've ever made? No.
I just wanted to go for like a green, blue, Frutiger Aereo type vibe, and never hurts to throw a little bit of Sonic the Hedgehog in there. Let's say that you can draw characters, but when it comes to backgrounds, you're just not quite there. There is nothing to be ashamed of. I personally also suck at backgrounds. So to get used to drawing characters within spaces other than the void, you can take pictures of locations that you like and work some characters into that environment. It may look pretty whack at first, like your first few attempts might not be, successful, but doing it multiple times will for surely teach you how to see planes in an environment and how it relates to the character that you're drawing. And you might be thinking, my style is a little bit too cartoony to look good on a realistic background. Let's all remember that some of the best animation that has ever been made has been made with more detailed backgrounds and simpler characters.
It doesn't matter if you're drawing Chico level of simplicity or if you're going full-blown realism.
Any style would look good in this, and if I'm really thinking about it, why not take screenshots from games and shows that you like and do the same thing? I mean, taking screenshots from anime and drawing yourself in there was like literally an entire trend that I participated myself in, and I remember it being a lot of fun. But for these drawings specifically, I had a lot of fun playing with the lighting sources. I tried to choose images that had a little bit more darker lighting just so that I could try to play around with that glowy effect, because who doesn't love a little bit of glow? But for the first two drawings, I accidentally didn't turn on the time-lapse recording, hey chat. So I didn't really catch the beginning portions of drawing those in that environment, but to make up for it, I decided to draw a couple more.
So I took me and my friends, obviously, and we are just going on little adventures, right?
The one with Kifwin, Adrotic, and I is the one that has the most story. I didn't really think about the other ones very much. We lost Adrotic, quote-unquote lost Adrotic. They're just hiding. And Kifwin and I are frantically running around trying to find our lost bird. And they're just hiding around the corner making fun of us. So it's very sweet, very cute. I had kind of a vague idea of a story I wanted to go for this one, but lately Kiffy has been very obsessed with a very specific type of caterpillar, and this background was very grassy, and I was kind of trying to be like, oh, we're looking for Kifwin in this grassy area, but it just doesn't really look like it, and I was gonna add speech bubbles to try and, you know, say something like I did for the last drawing, but
I don't know, maybe Adrotic and I are just running around in the forest, lost, and probably gonna die.
This is a really helpful exercise, and it forces you to put characters in angles and lighting situations that you probably wouldn't have thought of on your own. So if you get the chance, I highly recommend trying this. Not only is it fun, but it's really helpful for learning, and you're not going to learn anything if you use AI. Just saying. Just saying. If you feel like you can never get proportions right, or whatever you draw just has an uncanny valley feeling to it, why not lean into that? Odd anatomy and colors can make some of the most visually interesting pieces.
What's this?
It's an art project.
Okay, I like it. Picasso.
Not everything has to be seen as a mistake. Sometimes the things that you think that you've done wrong are actually a good idea and you're just scared to try something new. Sometimes skill in art doesn't mean knowing every correct and incorrect move to make, but rather letting whatever happens happen. Although I will say, having a knowledge of anatomy makes it so much easier to know how to abstract it in a way that is visually pleasing. It's kind of a gotta know the rules to break them sort of thing. An amazing example of someone who knows anatomy very well, and this knowledge helps them twist and turn their characters in a visually pleasing way, is Noidun art on TikTok. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There's a bird screaming out my window. Don't. Get. Rah, shoo.
Oh.
They obviously have extensive knowledge and skill in illustration, but their anatomy is very exaggerated, and in some cases just not accurate. And it looks so good. It's so alluring, I just want to keep looking at it. The art that you make doesn't even necessarily have to be ugly, but just generally exaggerating features can make the creative process so much more fun. And if you don't feel like changing up the anatomy, there's always the option of changing up your color schemes. There's this one artist that I see all the time. They have such beautiful art, and there's no questioning that it's absolutely gorgeous, but their color usage is a little funny. Typically when you see their paintings, the parts of the figure that are usually highlighted aren't, like the face or the hair, but instead the focus would be put on something a little bit less significant, like the limbs, for example. Their art is a great example of something that isn't ugly, but it's unconventional, and sometimes unconventional things can really be the most creative. This last thing isn't really a tip, but pick up a damn pencil. Pick up a pencil, bro! There will never be an easy way out when it comes to human expression. The art that we make is not only a reflection of what we like, but also of what we've been through in our individual lives. And while you may not think that the cute kawaii desune anime cat girls that you used to draw as a 12-year-old were actually really of that much emotional significance, I promise they are. So don't give up. And definitely don't give in to AI. You are better than that. We're all better than that. The point that I'm trying to make with this video is that you don't need to be amazing at art to be creative, but you don't even need to draw to be creative, dude. Like, seriously. Just avoid using AI at all costs. Like, you just don't need to. There are so many other ways that you can visualize your OCs or whatever you're doing. And a big one that, you know, is fairly obvious is that you can commission people, but I didn't mention it as a tip in this video just because it's not really something that everyone is able to do.
Especially with the financial state of, everything right now.
But if you're avoiding commissioning an artist because you're embarrassed that you don't have any like super good references outside of like a Gacha Life character, don't be, Pookie. Like, artists are always willing to talk to you about what specifically you're looking for in a commission. So if you're worried that it's like embarrassing to bring up, it's not embarrassing, Pookie. It's not. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you especially to those of you who have made me fan art. I love you. And if you want your fan art to be at the end of one of my videos, remember to tag me on whatever platform I'm on. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Bye-bye.